Okay guys, we're jumping right into the video. Today we're going to be using tape for the eyes, and here I am just prepping my eyes with my Milani eyeshadow primer and just using a small Real Techniques brush to get in there. Today we're going to be using the Athena palette by Bad Habits, and the first color I'm going in with is Velour, and I'm just putting this into my crease and working that pink color in. Just back and forth windshield wiper motions as usual. Next, I'm going to be jumping into the purple color of the palette called Justice, and I'm just putting that into my crease with another Morphe brush. I will list all the brushes down below for you guys in the description box because I don't know them off the top of my head, so I will list those for you guys. But I am just putting that into my crease and just working back and forth windshield wipers. Then I'm going in with the color Lore in the palette, and again, this is the Athena palette by Bad Habits. And I'm just putting that into my crease with another fluffy brush from from BH Cosmetics. And I'm just kind of putting that on the outer side of my crease and then blending it in. Then I'm going in with a darker brown in the palette called Clever, and I'm just putting that in the outer part of my crease and then just blending whatever's left into the crease itself. How many times can I say crease, right? You guys can see what I'm doing here on the outer part of my eye, and then I'm just kind of blending it into the rest of the colors. We're going to be doing a cut crease today, so I'm going in with my Tarte concealer, and I am just putting that down on the eyelid. It helps if you draw a line down and then look up to kind of help create that crease for you. So that's what I'm doing here in this portion, and then just slowly cutting that crease out halfway, not taking it all the way to the end of my eye, but just the halfway point. And you guys can just see what I'm doing right here. Again, on the other side, just taking it and looking around and kind of just clearing that section to slowly take it up and around. This part, it's easy if you just take your time. Then I'm going in with the purple color, and I'm using a little bit of spray, not Fix Plus, but it's kind of like that. And the purple color I'm using is Gleam and Epic, and I'm just kind of mixing both of those and putting them onto my lid, just tapping them with a flat shader brush, and then I'm going in on the other eye and doing the same thing. I don't know, it was kind of weird with the lighting, but one eye looked more purple than the other, but I did use the same exact color, so I'm not exactly sure why it turned out that way. But here I'm just packing on the lid with that shadow, and you can see I'm trying to go back in and fix the coloring, but I think it's the lighting because it was hitting me on one side, and so it was making it look a little bit more purple, but I did use both the same colors in the palette. And then I'm going just in with a no color and just kind of blending it into the purpley color that we put on our actual lid. I'm just making sure that everything's blended out with the brush there, and just adding a little bit more of the purples that we used for the crease. I am going to be using the glitter that comes in the palette, so I'm just putting on some glitter glue, and I'm going in with the color Darling. Now, I kind of wish that I would have just went on the top of my eye with the glitter, but I ended up doing the whole lid. If I were to do the look again, I probably wouldn't have done the whole lid, but this glitter in this palette is really messy, so just take your time on that. I did go in with my finger at first, and then it was a little bit harder to get into certain areas, so I used my little brush that I used in the beginning. And again, I'm just tapping on a little bit at a time. It's easier if you just tap on a little bit and then work your way up into the part of the crease with the brush. Then I'm going in and just cleaning up the bottom because this glitter is pretty messy, so I'm trying to blend it into the crease without getting glitter all over the place. But it was a little bit of a mess there, so just take your time. Then you can go ahead and remove the tape, but I probably would have kept the tape down to do my eyeliner, but I completely forgot. So it's easier to help you trace that if you're a beginner with the tape, but I just went and kind of followed the line that was already there from the tape. But it probably would have been a lot easier if I would have just kept it down before I removed it. But I'm just using my Physicians Formula ink pen. I don't know why I can't think of the name. But again, I will list everything down below on the description box of what I used for the video, but I'm just going in and drawing in a wing, taking my time because this is hard and it takes a long time. Oh, magic, the other eye's done. Then I'm going in with a little bit of green concealer to cover up my poor little zits that I have all over my face. The lashes that I am wearing are the Queen Bee lashes as well, just so you guys are aware, from Cocoa Lashes. Foundation I'm using for the video is Wet n Wild foundation in the color beige. And I'm just slapping that all over my face, covering up my imperfections. And that you guys can see the tape really cuts that sharp line, which I like. So when I'm doing more glam, it helps to put that tape down to get a more precise look. But here I'm just putting on foundation. And just making sure that you're going around your brows. Just putting a little bit more on where I needed extra coverage. This foundation is really good. It's my color perfect match right now, but it is a little light, so I just go in with a second layer in some spots I need more coverage. And the brush that I'm using is a Real Techniques brush. I think it's the Face Expert brush. You can get them at Ulta, any grocery store. They're really affordable. Now I'm going in with my Milani concealer and concealing those bags under my eyes. This concealer is really good. It's pretty heavy, so I tried to not take it too far with the concealer, but I just go in and cover up the areas I just need some extra help. And I'm just taking it up to the crease there underneath my eye. And then I just blended it out with the Beauty Blender sponge that I have because I like the way that it looks after you blend it out with a sponge. Now I'm going in with my Laura Mercier powder like I always do, and I'm just setting that concealer underneath my eyes. You know the drill, the usual. You guys have seen me do this 100 times. And then I'm taking some of my Wet n Wild powder, I think also in the color beige, and I'm just slapping that on my face to set the foundation because I feel like you do need some powder with this foundation. I'm going in with my MAC bronzer. I believe this is just a matte bronzer is what it's called. I haven't used it for a while, so I just thought I would break it out and use something new. And I'm not really contouring, I'm just kind of highlighting, or excuse me, I'm kind of just bronzing up my face, but then I do go in with this more precise brush to contour a little bit on the sides of my cheeks. And this brush, I really like. It came in a kit. I don't think you can buy it separately, but it's good. Then I'm using my little trial size because I'm too cheap to buy an actual NARS blush. This is in the color Orgasm. And I'm just slapping some on my cheeks. I really like it because it has a shimmer to it. And then I kind of brought the contour a little bit far down, so I'm just cleaning that up a little bit with some powder. I didn't really bake, I just kind of tried to clean up that line. I took my bronzer down a little bit too far. And then of course I'm just blending everything out with my BH brush and slapping on some glue, basically glue in a bottle, my Maybelline brow gel that I'm putting in. And then I'm going in with my Wet n Wild highlighter. I don't think I showed it, but it's just the one that I always use, Precious Petals, and going in with a Morphe brush to highlight the areas on my cheekbones, down my nose, and on the bridge, and then a little bit on my Cupid's bow just to give it a little pop. And then going back in with the Athena palette, I am going in with all the colors that we put down in our crease. So that first pink color was Velour, and then a little bit of the Justice color, the purple, and just smoking out the Laura lash line. And then I am taking another brighter color, I believe I put into my inner corner. I think the color is Fierce and Cunning, and you'll see that in a second. I'm going in with my Wet n Wild mascara that I really like for my bottom lash line. I'm just slapping that on. And then as you can see here, I'm going in with the 2 gold colors, like I said, for that inner corner pop. Because, you know, you got to have that little oomph. And then for lips, I didn't really show it, but I just went in with my Revlon lip gloss. I didn't really put too much on, so that, unfortunately, I kind of lost the end there. But there you have the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye!